Your ex just told you that they're moving with your child. Can they do that? A lot of parents assume the answer is yes. Others assume the answer is no. In Washington state, the reality is much more complicated. One of the most stressful situations you can face with a parenting plan is all of a sudden realizing that your ex wants to move to the other side of the country. Whether it's for a new job, a new relationship, or simply a fresh start, a move can certainly dramatically impact parenting schedules and a child's relationship with both parents. What a lot of people don't realize is that there are strict legal requirements before a parent can make a major move with your child. In this video, I'll explain how child relocation works in Washington state and some of the factors that may come into play when one parent wants to move with a child. My name is Charlie Shane. I'm a family law attorney in Washington state, and I help people with these situations all the time. When a parent receives notice from the other parent that they want to relocate with the child, immediately questions start racing through that parent's mind. What happens to my parenting time? Can I stop the move? What happens if the move is across the state or even across the country? Most normal people will react emotionally to this, and a lot of people will want to take this to court, and other people don't realize their rights and just kind of let it happen. Neither of the latter two approaches is helpful without first understanding the law and the facts involved. Washington courts generally focus on the child's best interest and the specific circumstances of the family. The reality is there's no specific answer, and the outcome of the relocation will depend on several different factors: the existing parenting relationship, the reason for the move, the impact on the child's relationship with each parent, and the practical realities of maintaining parenting time. In fact, there is a specific statute which lists multiple factors that the court looks at, but every situation is unique. I think one of the biggest problems that parents make is that they assume that they know what the court's going to do in the situation. But the truth is that these cases are often way more nuanced than people expect. That's why having a clear understanding of the facts, the law, and potential consequences of each decision is so important. When a client comes to me with a relocation matter, whether they're relocating or they're defending against a relocation or objecting to that relocation, I look at specific facts. First of all, I go straight to the parenting plan because that's going to tell me what legal standard we're looking at. If a party has the children the majority of the time, let's say more than 60% of the time, then the standard is slightly different. There's a presumption that the relocation will be allowed, and the court will also look at the best interest of the child. However, even with that presumption, the court, it's been my experience, it doesn't always really apply that presumption. Sometimes it'll just look right past it. But under the statute, there is that presumption that it would be allowed for the relocating party. But then we look at all the other factors too, like what are the schools like in both areas? What's the quality of life like in both areas? What are the connections with family and friends in both areas? How deep are the roots of the children in one area over another? I start looking at the factors in the statute and I formulate a plan for my clients. Now, one thing you need to understand about these factors is that the court doesn't necessarily put more weight on one factor over the other. The court has great flexibility when looking at the factors, but it does look at these factors. And so immediately I look at those factors as well when a client comes in. And I try to formulate a plan and a strategy that works best for my client's goals. If you or somebody you know is dealing with this situation, with a relocation, give my office a call. We would love to help you out, or look at our website. We do this all the time, and we have helped many people with this exact situation.